I'm taking a little break today from my usual sew-along format to share with you my 5 favorite places for finding fabric for cheap and free. We all know that sewing is one of those hobbies that can become pretty pricey. Everything from buying your machines, maintaining them, buying notions and fabric all adds up really quickly. But one area that I've never really been willing to spend a lot of money has been fabric, because I know that there's so much fabric out there that I can get for cheap or free. And I don't think that I've ever spent even more than $5 a yard on fabric. I can't even think of the last time that I even spent that much. So here are my 5 top places for finding fabric for cheap or free in no particular order. First on my list is Walmart. I think this is probably the place that I most frequently find my fabric. And if you're looking for variety, this is the place to find it. Whenever I go to Walmart, I make a beeline to the fabric section and check out their remnant bundles first. Here I found everything from wool, cottons, laces, double brush poly, sweater knits, jersey, upholstery fabric, fleece, flannel, and I've made so many beautiful garments from these bundles. The sizes of the bundles are usually about 2 or 3 yards, and the prices range generally from 2 yards for $4 or 3 yards for $8. You can buy your fabric on the bolt there at Walmart, but I usually don't. But I've often found in the bundle section is that people sometimes have their fabric cut and end up returning it to Walmart and it ends up in the bundle section, or fabric that has been discontinued will end up there. And sometimes the bits of fabric at the end of the bolt will end up in that section. And I've been really happy with the quality. My favorite thing that I've made out of a Walmart bundle was a faux leather dot bag I made for my nephew. I made it with about a yard of faux leather as well as a fat quarter that I purchased there for like 99 cents. And it came out so beautifully. It's one of my favorite sews. Next on my list is thrift stores. I think this is probably my favorite place for finding fabric. And that's because I always go there looking for fabric and I often leave there with a lot more than just fabric. I found so many wonderful books on sewing at the thrift store, and I found tons of notions like scissors, buttons, bias tape. One of my favorite makes from thrift store fabric was a Burda dress that I made while I was taking one of the Burda Academy classes. Gorgeous blue polyester that I bought from the thrift store. I think I got 3 yards for $1. You just never know what you'll find, and there is such a thrill in the hunt. There's so many options for fabric here. I've used sheets many times for dresses and tops. I've repurposed placemats before to make bags, and I've even used tablecloths to make some of my favorite garments. As they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Another place that I often look for fabric is Facebook. I go into Facebook Marketplace for my area and I search for sewing or sewing machines or fabric. A lot of things pop up for things people are looking to get rid of. One of my favorite finds on Facebook was a lady who was selling a big box of her grandmother's notions for $10. And I went and I got it. And a lot of it is really nostalgic. A lot of the things in that box I ended up using, but a lot of the things that I ended up getting in that box, I ended up putting in a shadow box just because they were such fun vintage pieces that are really pleasant to look at. Another great way to use Facebook is to join local groups. In one of the Facebook groups that I'm a member of in my community, somebody had posted a question if anyone had any use for fabric from her grandmother's sewing room. And immediately I jumped on it and I said yes. I didn't even know what was in these bags, but I said yes and I arranged a time to go pick them up. Some of it was not that great, but I ended up with yards and yards of polyester, silks, laces, as well as tons of interfacing and quite a few notions like threads and even patches. So it was a really great opportunity to find some fun treasures. Once you're a part of those local groups, I would encourage you to ask. Ask if anyone has old clothes or fabrics or sheets or tablecloths that they don't want anymore. And often you'll find that people would much rather give these materials to you as a hobbyist than to just put them in a giant bag and give them to Goodwill. Kind of a nice opportunity for them to give their fabric to somebody instead of running the risk that those materials would end up in a landfill. And next on my list that brings up another opportunity for you to upcycle and repurpose is getting old clothes and materials from friends and family. My sister-in-law often gives me bags of her old clothes that belong to her and my nephew as well. I always love the challenge of repurposing these garments. I've cut up old sweaters and t-shirts to make new-to-me garments, and I've even reused some of my nephew's button-up shirts to make some fun outfits as well. And the last time I visited my mom, she had a bag of clothes that was about to make its way to Goodwill. And of course I raided it first. And I found 5 or 6 really beautiful silk tops that no longer fit her. and I brought them home and I have plans to put them together to make a beautiful patchwork shirt. And when I do, I'll post a sew along for it. So that's coming soon. And last on my list is looking for fabric at my local craft stores. For me, these stores are Joanne and Hobby Lobby. The thing that often gets me running to Joanne and Hobby Lobby is when they have their pattern sales. When Simplicity, McCall's, and Butterick go on sale for like 99 cents and $1.99, I always go there and have a huge pattern haul. But much like Walmart, these stores have sections in the back where they carry bundles of remnant fabric. And this again can be fabric that is discontinued, end of bolt, or returns that have come back to the store. I found beautiful remnants of leather and vinyl, as well as cotton staple. One of the sew-alongs that I've done on this channel was a Simplicity skirt. I used a remnant of cotton staple that was just enough fabric to make the skirt. So often these remnant bundles will be 2 yards or less. They can often be just enough for a project, which is really great if you're trying to tackle a specific project and you don't necessarily want there to be leftover fabric or waste. So I always search those remnant sections first, and of course I check out the clearance sections. My favorite find at Hobby Lobby was this green leopard corduroy that at the end of the season had gone on sale for 70% off. I didn't know what to do with myself, I just bought the whole thing. I think it will make a beautiful lightweight jacket or a jumpsuit. I haven't made anything with it yet, but I know it's going to be good. I hope that sharing my fabric sources was helpful for you. If there are other places that you like to find fabric for cheap or free, please share it in the comments. I would love to hear them. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.